Hello and welcome to German with Gino. Today we'll be dealing with the nominative case. Now our goals for today are to explain the definite and indefinite articles, to introduce the genders, to explain the nominative case and how the definite articles react to it, introduce the indefinite article, ein, for German, and create sentences in the nominative case. Now, to clarify, the definite and indefinite articles in English are the, a, and an. The definite article being the, and the indefinite articles being a and an. I'm pretty sure we're all clear on that now. So let's get into some German. Now, the definite articles in German are der, die, and das. They all mean the, and I'm sure you're wondering why there's three instead of just one like in English. Well, in German, there's genders. So, the genders are der being masculine, die being feminine, and das being neuter or neutral. Now, some examples of these genders, like in the wild, are der Mann, which means the man, die Frau, which means the woman, and das Buch, which means the book. Now, the main feature of tonight is the nominative case. Now, the nominative case is used for nouns serving as the subject of a verb. For example, the man speaks German. For this first section of examples, or one example actually, is going to be in English, and then the next one will be in German. Alright, so the man in the example, the man speaks German. The man is the subject to the verb speaks. Therefore, the man demands the nominative case. So let's try it in German. Now, the nominative, der Mann spricht Deutsch. Der Mann is the subject that is serving the verb spricht, or sprechen, for its infinitive. Therefore, der Mann demands the nominative case. So, you may be wondering, this is kind of obvious stuff. It's not really affecting anything. There's nothing changing. There's nothing that I've kind of learned that's new, other than, terms, or maybe a little bit of English. My professor says that learning a language is learning your own. So he always gives us like an English lesson every time. But anyway, the reason it's important to know is that the rules change in the other cases, like accusative, dative, and genitive. And without knowing one, you can't fully appreciate or understand the others. And in the next few slides, we'll get a taste of how the nominative case changes the indefinite article. Now, the indefinite article in German is ein, which means a or an in English. Now, this table that I've made is going to explain how the nominative and gender change ein, or affect it. So, der, the masculine definite article, changes ein not at all. It just keeps it as ein. And also das, the neuter, or the neutral article, keeps it as ein as well. However, the odd one out is definitely die, feminine. It throws an e at the end, making it eine. So an example of ein in the nominative case or a couple examples of ein in the nominative case would be, well, we're going to be using the verb lieben in this case, to love. Now, ein Mann liebt Musik. So, we see at our table, der, masculine, does not change ein in the nominative case. Ein Mann demands the nominative case. So, it doesn't change because Mann is masculine. In our next example, we see the feminine article for die Frau. It changes ein to eine. It throws that e at the end. So we see eine Frau liebt Musik. Now, these sentences mean, if it wasn't already obvious, a man loves music, a woman loves music, and here we'll see a child loves music. Ein Kind liebt Musik. Now, a child is das Kind auf Deutsch. So, we see that das, neuter, does not change ein at all. So there's no e at the end of that one. There's no e at the end of the one that, or ein, whenever it's masculine as well. So here are the examples. Now, that's about it. That's the nominative case. So I'd like to give you some free and cheap resources that you can use to further your German learning. So the textbook that we use in my class is called Vorsprung, and it's by three people named Lovig, Guy, and Chavez. And it's about $15 to $30 used. It's fairly cheap. It's very thorough, and it covers pretty much up to the third level German course. And it's not too long. It's probably about 500 pages. It gives a good grasp on irregular verbs, regular verbs, negation, uh, conjugation, dative, genitive, accusative, everything that I'd like to be covering in this series of videos on German grammar. It's a great little book, and it's cheap. The next source is dict.cc. Now, this is my absolute favorite thing lately. I get on there and I type in a word, say I want to look up anything. I can't think of something off the top of my head, but say we had der Hund, or the dog. It would give me a normal dictionary would not do this. It would just give me the dog if I typed in der Hund. However, in dict.cc, it gives me every iteration, every idiom, every saying that der Hund could be used in. And you can just get lost in it. You can keep going and going. You find new words that you never knew, and you type that in, and it takes you to all the different sayings for those words, and it's just amazing. It branches out, and you learn so much new vocabulary just from looking up one word. If you have the time and love for the language, you just want to keep going. Am I right? And of course, the Homeland r/German. There's plenty of people on there who are willing to help you, and plenty of people who are going through the same thing as you. And it's never bad to ask any type of question on there. Those guys are great. They have their own little thing called TeamSpeak Sundays. You just get on there. The information is listed on the page, and it's a great source for learning and a great community to grow in as a German speaker and German learner. Native, beginner, it's all welcome there. Well, thank you for your time, and thank you for just sitting here learning German with me. This has been German with Gino. Have a good night.